are not a man of virtue! Ha! Liu Bei, I will slay you in the name of justice! No! How could justice not prevail?
Our Lord fights for a greater good. Come with me and see our Lord's righteousness with your own eyes.
My brother fights for a greater good. Come, see his righteousness with your own eyes.
Our brother fights for a good cause too. Come on, see my brother's righteousness for yourself.
Know that our Lord fights for the greater good. Come with me, see our Lord's righteousness for yourself.
Justice is a worthy cause, but I fight for a greater good. Join me, and I will show you that our cause is worth fighting for.
I once fought under the name of justice. But our Lord fights for a greater good.
Lord Liu Bei fights for a greater cause, my young lad. Come and see his righteousness for yourself.
Our Lord fights for a greater good, brave warrior. Come, join us, in the name of our Lord's righteousness.
Our cause, greater than justice. Come see.
Lord Liu Bei fights for a greater cause than plain old justice. Why don't you see his righteousness for yourself?
Our Lord fights for a greater good. Come with me and see his righteousness.
Liu Bei fights for a greater good. Come, see his righteousness with your own eyes.
Liu Bei fights for a greater good. Come on, see his righteousness for yourself, all right?
Lord Liu Bei fights for good things too, you know. Come with me. I'll show you that he fights for good things.
Liu Bei fights for a greater good. Come, witness his righteousness for yourself.
Liu Bei fights for a greater good than justice. Come on, see his righteousness firsthand.
Lord Liu Bei fights for a greater good. Come, see his righteousness for yourself.
Liu Bei's cause is greater than your justice. Come with me and judge for yourself.
Lord Liu Bei fights for a greater good. Come, see his righteousness for yourself.
Lord Liu Bei has a greater cause. Come, see his righteousness personally.
Lord Liu Bei fights for a greater good. See his righteousness with your own eyes.
Lord Liu Bei has a greater cause. Come, see his righteousness for yourself.
Lord Liu Bei fights for the greater good that is beyond justice. Come with me. See his righteousness for yourself.
Lord Liu Bei fights for the greater good. Come, the path of righteousness awaits.
Lord Liu Bei fights for the greater good. Come, let us witness his righteousness together.
Liu Bei fights for the greater good. Come with me and see for yourself.
Liu Bei leads a fight for the greater good. Come, see his righteousness for yourself.
Lord Liu Bei fights for a greater good.
Join us and see his righteousness for yourself.
Lord Liu Bei fights for a greater good. Come, see his righteousness with your own eyes. Liu Bei fights for the greater good. Why don't you see for yourself?
Lord Liu Bei fights for a greater good. Come and see his righteousness for yourself.
Liu Bei has a greater cause. Come and see for yourself.
Lord Liu Bei fights for a greater good. Come with me. See his righteousness for yourself. Liu Bei fights for something better. Why don't you come and see?
Liu Bei has a greater cause. Come see for yourself.
Lord Liu Bei fights for the greater good. Come with me. See his righteousness for yourself.
Liu Bei fights for the greater good. Come, see his righteousness with your own eyes. What is justice? Liu Bei fights for a greater good. Come, you will see that his righteousness surpasses justice.
Liu Bei fights for a greater good. Come, find out for yourself.
Justice is the domain of the heavens. It is not our place to judge others. However, Liu Bei's great cause may surpass even that of the heavens.
Hey, Liu Bei fights for the greater good. Come on, why don't you see for yourself?
Liu Bei has a greater cause than you. Why don't you come see for yourself?
Our Lord has a greater cause. Come and see for yourself.
Our Lord fights for a greater cause. Why don't you come and see for yourself?
Very well. I too shall fight for the greater cause.